Welcome. Where the paranormal becomes normal.
It would help if everybody does. Oops, forgot. Sorry.
I like it.
All right. Did you like it?
That's cute.
It's crap, but good. It's a good crap.
Good.
Yeah. So, just want to say thank you, Lara, for joining the membership. Really do appreciate it. Another one to the list. So, thank you. Welcome everyone in the chat. So there's a few new names on here. So we've got Paul Scott, there's Jojo, Margaret Webster, Ross, Gilbert, Brian C, Nicole Schiffertone, whoever she is.
Crazy
person. Grasshopper, LES, Midwest, and Blue Shift has just joined us. So welcome. It's just me and Nicole to start off with. Unfortunately, Eric, Paranormal Highway, cannot be with us today. He's had some personal stuff going on at home. So he needs to be there to sort that out. But he has said once it's all done, he'll definitely come back on. So there's that. But we do have a replacement in the name of Russ Bevin. So he's a UK paranormal investigator, house cleanser. He's got two groups. I don't know if they're his groups or if he's just part of them. So you've got Wednesbury Paranormal and the Haunted Exchange. So they're around the Birmingham area in the West Midlands of the UK. So he's going to be coming on just before 9 o'clock. So as he comes up, we'll have a break around then. Then we'll bring him on and then we'll do the last hour with him. So
then we'll talk about house cleaning.
I don't know if he uses bleach, Jeff, whatever. I don't know.
I'm going to show up with a bucket.
He says he's got, he's saying over 30 years experience in encounters and documentation and all that. So, yeah, he's going to be doing that. Do you have anything you want to talk about for the next 20 minutes? Not 20 minutes, just talking about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't have anything to talk about for the next 20 minutes.
Leave you to it. Off you go.
I was at White Hill Paracon on Saturday.
How did that go?
It was good. The mansion is awesome. It's kind of run down, so it still has that like rustic abandoned house kind of feel. Like the ceilings coming in some parts. It hasn't been all restored like a lot of the old mansions have been. We investigated there the week before, or 2 weeks before, and then the expo was last Saturday. So that was pretty great.
Right. Oh, just found out from Ellie. Thank you, Ellie. Russ runs a Wednesbury Paranormal, and he's a co-owner of Haunted Exchange. So thank you for that.
Cool.
It was just dropping each other voice notes this morning, and I was getting stressed at work, so I'm trying to remember everything for tonight. And just didn't get a chance to write it all down, so I just wrote down what I could remember. So there's your introduction for him when he does come on. So yeah, and I'm supposed to be going to Rendlesham on Saturday, weather permitting, because it has been absolute washout the last couple of days down here. Alex Lovelock, he's keeping his eye on the weather because there's a few of us that are going to be going down. Some aren't meeting up till later on in the day, and they're going to be doing their words, not mine, camping, but for legal reasons, you're not allowed to camp, so they're doing an overnight.
Is it legal if you don't like set up a tent and camp? You just hang out?
If you're just there, yeah. But they go around patrolling the car parks, even though it's just like a big sand pit sort of thing. They go around because when you buy your ticket, it like $23.59, and then obviously as it's 12 midnight, that's the next day, so you can ticket you them. But there are little lay-bys. There are little lay-bys along the road that you can back. But I know if I put my car there, I go about like it wouldn't be there. Or there won't be much left of it, I don't think, because it's just random spots along the road.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't trust it to be left there without it being in sight. I'm just reading the comment.
I know.
Yes. No, I didn't ring Phil. I'm going to phone him tomorrow because I need to find out exactly what's going on. Didn't know we had Crocs in the UK.
You have Crocs in the UK.
I do. I had to get them. But I was having this conversation earlier. So this is the reason that I got them. If I've got to go outside, normally I'll kick my shoes off. I've just got socks on.
Mm-hmm.
If it's raining, I've either got to take my socks off. If I've got to get something from the car or something in the back garden, if I leave my socks and they get wet. The dog's thinking the same. And then I'm having to put other people's in the house, put their Crocs on to run to and from the car. So then I'm thinking, just get me on because they might have manky feet or anything. But I did you can just see the back of them there. I did get the GTI version of them. So I didn't get your standard ones.
Yeah, so they're a little fancier. Fancy
And they've
Crocs.
got a lot more memory foam in them. They are so comfy. But it's just easier if I've just got to jump in the car, go to the shop. I don't want to dressing my feet just to go out for 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just a massive ball ache.
I have not
slip
given
them
it
on,
yet.
slip them off.
I work in the pharmacy, and everybody in the pharmacy has Crocs because they're so comfy.
Yeah.
Everybody in healthcare has Crocs. I refuse.
Yeah.
My whole family has Crocs.
Hospital staff, nurses, doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I go, a couple of hospitals that I deliver to, you've got to walk, like park at the back in the loading bay, and then you've got to walk right round to where the pharmacy stores are. Mm-hmm. And I'd say 95% of people that you walk past have got Crocs on or a form of Croc shoe. So,
and you wear Crocs socks
do my head
in public.
No,
I saw that you got some.
Yeah, that was. I was sat on the bed and I just took a photo.
Mm-hmm.
When I went out that afternoon, I took the socks off. But this is what I do. Margaret's just what is making excuses for buying Crocs.
No, that's not what she wrote. Read it again.
Oh, Cox. What? I've got my reading glasses on. Yeah. Ross has just put it's a grip inside that hurt your feet. It's like them
Yeah.
little pins that stick up. But this is my analogy for it, and my like thinking pattern of how it works. So if I put them on and they're that comfortable, if I forget that I'm wearing them, therefore I don't know I've got them on, so I just completely forget. So when I go outside, in my head, if I think I'm just wearing normal shoes, it doesn't matter.
But if you forget that you have them on, then would you also not forget to put them on? Like if it
No.
feels like you're not wearing anything, and you forget you have them on because they're
No.
so comfortable.
No.
Can't do it.
Oh, wait.
I can't join the Croc family.
I said
Although
that.
they have Laura said that they have Crocs that look like Mary Jane's. I know they have like sandals. I considered the sandals at one point, but
Well, when I went to Boston in the US, you've got Dick's restaurant where they all talk to you like crap. It's one of those are, and then at the end of that road where all the shops and everything are, you've got the Croc shop, and I think it's 3 floors. I'm like, I am not going in there, not a chance. And I was adamant that I would die before buying a pair. And do you know what? They're not even cheap.
no,
Well,
they're not. They're expensive.
Standard ones probably about £30-35. But these were, probably
Do you have
nearly
gibbets?
double. Huh?
Did you get any gibbets for your Crocs?
No,
You got to get like a little Dogman one, a Bigfoot one.
no, I'm going to
ghost.
get some little alien ones and UFOs and what have you. But because it's got the slices in rather than the holes, so I'm just going to put that up. It's It's only like 4 or 5 on each side, but the more for driving. Like, if it's raining, I've just got to run to the car and get some. It's just the convenience. I'm not going to go out and do fashion parades up and down the street or anything like
Yes,
that.
you will. You'll get there.
Yeah. I just cover them with socks and Crocs.
Socks and Crocs. But everybody wears socks and Crocs. At least here, nobody wears like barefoot and Crocs. You
No.
have to wear socks with your Crocs.
Yeah, but I wear the little like sports socks.
Mm-hmm. No, you got to go like full like crew socks all the way up like to your knee.
Yeah, all the way up to my knee.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Definitely not. I cannot wear, doesn't matter what time I cannot wear not socks that pull up over your leg. They stop at the ankle and that's it. That all I don't wear any. So
They're like the first things that come off in the house.
yeah.
Can't
But I do have, but then I got these a while ago. It's like slipper socks.
Wow, they're like grippies.
Yeah. And they're quite comfy. But same again, you can't go out when it's wet or cold because you just end up getting damp. And then they're straight in the washing machine again. So yeah, so that's why I bought Crocs.
Rename this like the foot fetish episode. Because all we've talked about so far are Crocs and socks, sandals. Mm-hmm.
But Laura's just put, I think you should do a whole paranormal group investigation in Crocs.
You're going to think it's a EVP and it's just Crocs squeaking.
If we go to Rendlesham, I'm going to be wearing them. We called it Paracroc.
They're going to get dirty. They're white.
But we also worked out
erasers.
Get little UV lights in them, a little REM pod on the side.
Oh, like the
yeah.
Yep.
So with the aerial sticking through.
You know, you can get little headlights for them, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what it was. So I thought I'd get little UV lights or IR lights for them. Get a little clip-on microphone. Job done.
So everybody can hear you go squeak, 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 squeak.
That's the thing; they don't make any noise because they're so squidgy because of the memory foam. Look at me advertising them. I'm not, by the way, YouTube. That was a joke.
You have a code. You got to do like every other show. Now enter code Andy for 20% off your Crocs.
Yeah. I actually got 25% off him. So, because I
if Crocs
I
wants to
know
sponsor the
people.
show, I will
Yeah,
get a pair.
I wouldn't pay full price. Not paying 70 quid. Not a chance. No.
Have you seen like the character ones?
Oh, there's all sorts. There's
Crazy.
anything and everything. Yeah. So it's just once I bought them, you spot them a mile off anyone wearing them.
Yep.
There's a guy in the pub. We went to the pub on Sunday for obviously a few drinks, and we sat in the beer garden. There's a guy in all this like tie-dye clothing, and his Crocs were the same colour coordination as his jacket and trousers. It's like that's going one step too far. He's probably got about 30 pairs for each outfit he wears. And he was an old guy. He must have been in his late 60s, 70s.
That's odd.
Well, that's it. They're Crocs.
Oh, I want these Crocs.
They are so comfy. I do feel it's like it's not even a guilty pleasure. It's more I feel ashamed for actually buying them, but they're so comfortable. They look awful. They look absolutely awful. And that's why
they look like
that's
Crocs.
why that's why I couldn't get the normal ones. You just remind me like dominoes that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Let's see if I can. I'm gonna get if I were to get Crocs, I would get these ones. Did it come up?
You want me to add it?
Yeah, right there. I'm getting these ones.
Oh my god.
Those are the only Crocs that I would wear.
But aren't they all the add-ons?
Yeah, I don't know. They got like a strap around the front. They have a spike on them.
I could get some down the side. I'm just looking now. Yeah. Crocky shiz. That's what I used to call them, crocky shit. But they're just the easy shoes, the easy slip-on shoes. So it's either that or I'll wait till I get older and get me orthopedic shoes. But
oh yeah,
it's
you gotta
raining
get like
now.
the white New Balances, the dad shoes.
Don't like. Can't stand. I would have 10 pairs of Crocs, the New Balance. Can't stand them. They are awful.
Also not sponsored by New Balance.
No, not sponsored by anyone at this rate. All I'm doing is slagging everyone off. Oh, well. Yeah, so if the weather's nice, I will be going to Rendlesham. We're going to be meeting up with Alex, Elaine. I think Elaine's over half Simon. And I think her couple of the kids are going. There's another guy who's going later in the afternoon, Solomon. He's meeting up with somebody else called Joe, who is a abductee. And I think they're the ones that are camping as such. So if it's nice, I'm going to wear them. But I've also got 2 pairs of socks in my door in the car, just in case. Because you never know. And I've got my sliders in the back of the car. They're just cheap ones, like $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Joe wants to know if you wear Jesus sandals and socks.
No. Desert Docs, not a chance. Well, that's why I couldn't just get the normal, standard, basic style that everyone else is getting, because they're horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? Give me a second. For those who haven't seen the Echo ones or the Eco ones, let me go and grab them. You ready for the big reveal?
Mm-hmm.
So, see how different they are than your normal Crocs. And they've got a super sport mode on the back.
Ooh, super. So in case you're getting chased by aliens, you can run.
Yep. Well, that's what I mean. It's even got like all the way through the bottom. But if you look how thick and bouncy that is. That's like an inch thick, that's all. But you've got all them little knobbly bits inside, and it is like walking on Lego.
Yeah.
But they are really comfy. Even the outside is like all memory foam, what have you. So yeah.
You know what?
I don't.
Shoes I think you need to get next.
Go on.
This is basically what Crocs are.
Oh my god.
This is trendy. These were like trendy shoes for a while. Have you seen them?
I've seen them, but I didn't know people were actually going to buy them and wear them.
They wore them.
Yeah.
So that's next on your list.
No, I've got my DMs. Someone's put Doc Martens. I've got the 10 or 12. Oh, so they go quite high up. I got them for going out investigating, but that's more for like crappy terrain and what have you. Whereas an old Rendlesham, we can stay on the path. You can go off a little bit. It's not too bad because it's not really thick. It's only like an inch or so. But then I've got my water shoes as well, like what they were for surfing and what have you, with the rubber sole. So I've got there in the kit. I've just got hundreds of pairs of shoes that I don't wear.
I investigated Burlington County Prison on Saturday in flats. I don't know why I chose to wear flats instead of like sneakers or boots or something, but I wore flats.
Yep. Did it work?
Yeah, we made it work. It was fine.
Yeah. Ali's just put, did they glow in the dark for investigations? No, but I could get some glow in the dark paint.
Yeah, spray paint.
Just spray it over. Yeah, so so Russ is here now, gonna come on in a minute. As long as I'm going to Rendlesham, I am going to be doing a live from there. I reckon it's going to be around about 2 p.m. I'm going to interview Alex and other people that are there. Just ask them about what's gone on and point out certain places of strangeness and all that. So fingers crossed, get a good signal and the weather's good. Failing that, I'll just do some filming and upload it. So I'm just looking at what you're laughing at.
Yeah.
Do you know I've seen them or something similar?
Sure, just send it to.
Yeah, on tonight's episode of Croc Talk. Cheers,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to fill it. Right, so we have Russ waiting to come on. Og, too late. You've missed the Croc Talk.
You have to go back and watch the talk about Crocs again.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Right, so I'm going to bring Russ on now. Do a quick introduction. Yeah, then we'll have a break, and then we'll just forget the Crocs and go straight into it. Yep. That all right with you?
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
Cool.
So here is Russ Bevin. Welcome to the show, Russ.
Evening all. How you doing?
Good.
Hi,
Thank you for coming on at such short notice. Really do appreciate it.
No problem at all. Anytime at all. If I could come in
you-
here and talk shit with you guys about paranormal, I mean.
Do you own a pair of Crocs?
I hate Crocs. I really have. You go on my page on my Wednesbury page, and it's all about the Crocs, dissing the Crocs.
Really?
I mean, some of the ladies who come on our team nights actually wear. No, they're not stilettos. Croquettos. They actually wear the high heels.
All right.
Oh, damn
Not getting a
awful.
pair of them.
Andy, them terrible. I mean, it's for gardening tops, isn't it? That's it. And poor gardening shoes.
I get them to run. Not wrong, because I don't run anywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
But if we've got to go and get some out of the car and it's chucking it down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I got to put socks
Fair
on, got
enough.
to put trainers on, and it's just
Yeah.
a lot of arsing about just to get say I've lost my phone or keys or something in the car.
or
It's
give them
not worth it.
or give them the dog to bury in the garden or something.
Yeah.
Chew on a
But
bit.
no, please.
Oh no! Oh,
Yes, there you go.
what the hell? Is that Sasquatch's Crocs? They're
No,
massive.
these are the GTI version.
What?
Well,
They
it's
have
even got
super sport mode.
so for the sport mode, it's super sport spoiler mode.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What?
You're gonna get them. You want to get top
You
of the
gotta-
range. I'm telling you.
premium ones.
Yeah. Right. So just before we bring you on
Yeah.
and we get into the paranormal, we'll do a quick break so we can all get decrocked.
Yeah,
so to speak.
I
decrocked.
don't have to be cropped. I was never cropped.
Yeah, it's only an hour and 20. So
Okay.
get that on it to the loot, and then we'll crack on with the rest of the show.
No problem at all. No
All
problem.
right, cool. Right, see you in just over a minute. Get your questions
minute.
in, guys. Hello, and we're back. That's perfect timing, Nicole.
I know. You took away the countdown.
No, that's only at it's only at the beginning. There's none in the
there's
break.
the one, the break one where it like laughs or like it makes that sound. Then I'm like, oh, time to go
Oh, that's 3 minutes. That's why I didn't put that one on.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do that one next time. Right. So, hello, Russ. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Nicole. Again. Yeah.
Welcome to the show. So, I wasn't 100% sure what your involvement was with Wednesbury Paranormal and the Haunted Exchange, but Ali put me straight on that.
Yeah.
So, how did you start with the groups? What was the intent behind it?
Well, I never actually set out to organise events, have an events company. And I never set out. I was purely research, purely out for the the thrill spills and trying to find out what we all want to know, and that's how I set out. And really, I'm a bit disappointed in myself because our events nights have been that successful. I've tended to have neglected my own curiosities, if you know what I mean. And
yes.
So in a way, it's good. In a way, it's bad. The good thing is I can put on my experience to guests and newbies and tell people how to do things correctly. If there is a way, if there is a protocol, but I mean, just respect spirit, be kind, spread para-unity, if you want to say it, and just set some ethics and standards in the regime, because there's a lot slipping with the in standards and ethics, if in my opinion, recently with the explosion of its popularity. And that's all I do. So I've been spending a lot of my time spiritually and tech-wise, just helping people along and making sure that they're, respecting the rules and respecting everybody else in the community's ethics. So that's what I've done. But obviously, because it's been so, I wouldn't say successful, that's an egotistical word, but because it's been so popular, or, that I've lost my own rhythm in relation to what I like to do in relation to ITC work, and I need to find that again, find that passion again to start
Yeah.
picking up on my EVPs and my frequency work that I was heavily involved in. But yeah, that's how my events teams came along. It was just basically everybody wanted to experience one of our evenings, and we do our evenings differently to a lot of other teams. And I know we can say, anybody can say that, but we do mix spiritualism with tech, because people say you can't mix religion and science, but trust me, you can.
You can.
'Cause I'm a big believer in both. So I'll work with mediums, I'll work with science buffs, work with skeptics, physicians. We will bring everybody on board, and let them bring to the table their skill set to put on a good evening. So it's not just about me with my big mouth. It's about the guest who comes with their certain set of skills, and it works really well, especially with the mediums who come with us on the evenings. They feel confident to express their visualizations and sensations and feelings, and that they're not being held back, if you know what I mean. And it's good to see. And me with my science side offers that validation in relation to ITC and the other methods we bring to the table. So yeah, it's been quite a success. So we're still fledgling. We're not nationwide popular. We just got a big family, a big community on board. Lots of teams come on our evenings.
Yeah.
Because it's a great night. We mess around seriously between vigils and at the start and the end, but during the vigils, we turn on the respect and ethics.
Are you at the same place each time you do these, or do you go out to different locations?
No. Up and down the country. So we do a lot of obviously national heritage and sites, but we're up and down. We'll investigate anywhere. We'll even investigate a bus stop if you ask us to.
Yeah.
So we're up and down everywhere. So we've got a contract at the ancient ramming. Obviously, you know that, don't you?
Yeah,
so
in Wales.
we're down down the Cotswolds. So yeah, we've got a contract there with Haunting Nights and ourselves. So we put nights on there once a month, and we've also we the Haunted Museum, Stoke Museum. I don't know if you've been there yourself yet, Andy.
No,
Stoke,
not yet.
You need to go there, mate. That is one seriously hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, it's dark.
See, we go to Stoke quite a lot because we've got family up there.
Yeah.
So
check out Craig. Yeah, Craig Williamson on Stoke Haunted Museum in Fenton, Stoke, and it's got over 600 artifacts that have it. Yeah, if you believe in the attachment theory, he's got plenty of them. But I can tell you a lot of the macabre stories in relation to those artifacts. It is an unbelievable place, and it's the best place in the country for anything macabre and dark that's documented. So he's got the original East Drive door there, 30 East Drive, donated to him by Bill. So he's got that original one. He's got ritualistic artifacts that have been used in ritual, occult, dark magic practices. So I'm talking ground up teeth, bloodletting artifacts. He's got Ed and Lorraine Warren's spectacles. I mean, just go. It's even just for a £10 tour around in the week. It's an amazing place.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, it's just £10 just to walk around.
Wow.
But if you want to hire it out for just say you and Nick or a few of others, I mean, in the week it's dead cheap, and it's worth every cent, every penny. Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll have to look into that.
I mean, you've got a morgue slab, you've got used body bags, you've got a coffin that's been exhumed, and you can lie in the coffin and get the experience of that.
I think if we're going to do it, I'd have to get in a body bag, in a coffin on the morgue.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Craig could make that happen for you.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how long it'll last. Probably about 2 seconds. I'll be gone.
Okay, so one of the experiences I had there, I was in the chapel area, which is up top, and he's got pews along the chapel, and he's got crucifixes, etc. around. But there's a dark entity that wanders around the chapel area, and as well as 2 children. So I put an 18-stone gentleman in a pentagram, protected one, sat him on the floor blindfolded, and I sat on the coffin, and I asked the spirit to come forward and interact with the gentleman, and he got kicked in the chest and he collapsed on the floor in pain, and that's on CCTV footage.
Wow.
And you were
investigators, how that's funny. Like, it's like,
No,
wow,
I
that's
know.
great. He got punched in the chest.
Yeah, he got kicked. No, kicked,
Oh,
kicked,
kicked.
Nicole. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was laughing because he's a personal friend of mine. He's a skeptic as well. So he's no longer a skeptic after that energy in his chest. So
I'm sure.
yeah.
You
So
notice
have
it's
you
always
been
the
there
same-
often?
Yeah, well, last year we had, luckily enough, Craig give us a 12-month let to do our own nights there. Nobody else has been able to do that, so we managed to sell experiences to go there with Craig, and so I've done it a good 15, 16 times. Yeah.
Oh wow.
hmm You can stay over as well. He'll do an overnight one for you as well if you wanted to experience that, but only for the brave, I think.
Is that a lock-in as well?
Yeah, Craig will lock you in, yeah. And he records everything as well, and he's got so much footage in his archives. He has a serial killer room as well. So in that serial killer room, he's got a drawer full of artifacts from Darmler, the Krays. He's got letters from mass murderers, and what we tend to do is a lot of psychometry in there and psychometry experiments, and the things that come through, particularly on SDS or spirit boxes, is mad. The frequencies that come through. We've been talking to, I wouldn't say Darmler in particular, but we had some kind of ritualistic cannibal killer come through. And he just kept saying eat and flesh, and that was so strange and macabre. But yeah, the place it's one of those centres as well that push the limits, push the boundaries. So you can go there for research if you want to try an experiment or two. He'll put that on
it's
for
pretty
you.
much open to anything.
Yeah,
it's not just you go in, you've got a tour, and that's it. He's
no.
Lets you do whatever. Obviously, within reason.
You're not going to be able to do a DMT trip there or anything.
No.
Probably not.
I've never made it out.
You can do what you want in reason. Just you don't let you touch the artifacts because they cost him that much money.
Yeah.
But you don't need to touch them because the energy's unbound. You know, it's one of them places you walk in and just like a wave.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it as soon as you walk in, it hits you?
Yeah. Very, you know, the amount of people we've had to guests had to cleanse after because they're leaving in tears or feeling, you know, probably psychological, but we have had to do a lot of calming rituals and.
Well, that's where it is, though, isn't it? Because even though a lot of the energy is, I was going to say physical, but it's more mental.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Definitely.
The inside where it gets you.
I agree. Totally agree with you there. It is, you know, if you what you put in, you take away, you take away. If you know what I mean. So if you're absorbing it, if you're going in there with, you know, you're fully open. You know, if your auroric field's open, your chakras are fully open. You're going to absorb. Or if you're going in there purely negative as well. So you just need to find that the mediocre balance to go in there safely. But yeah, if you're expecting it, you're going to think you've got it, aren't you? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's psychological for sure.
Yeah.
How have your experiences changed from like the first couple times you went? Now that you've been a lot, like, have you had different interactions? Are they used to you?
Well, you Nicole, you know about layers, don't you? So there's layers of energy, layers like the cake, the proverbial cake. You don't know what's going to be there on the day. Simple fact is that I believe that the atmospherics, the weather conditions, ambient temperatures, internal temperatures. I mean, the date, obviously, that they all play a major part. Plus, what you're, as Andy's just hit on, what you're bringing to the fold, your own personal energy will attract as well. So, depending on what mood you're in or what day you're in, you know, even like Mercury retrograde in the, you know, with the moon, that'll play havoc. So you can't. It's very rare that when I go to a place that you get the same thing over and over. There's only a couple of times that's happened. But as you say, it depends what the energy field's passing through or what's emitting from the area at the time. I really believe that's what happens. It's like, you know, we coincide with an energy field from another dimension or the spiritual realm that's coexisting with us. And it's like a buzz passing through. passing through.
So
yeah.
what's your general attitude when you go to places like this?
Okay.
I know you can't always depict how you're going to be and how you're going to feel, but
my attitude is that when my spiritual protection up, and who I've got around me, I've got talented spiritualist mediums with me. I'm not afraid to I wouldn't say ask for the darker, because my own beliefs in the darker side, the darker realms, is that it's just a negative energy. You know what I mean? Good and bad people in existence. So you're going to get bad spirits as well. So I don't go for the religious aspect of darker energies. The demon side of things. I just think we're in this stew pot of this energy field that Mother Earth's created, and the bad people who pass, or the traumatic experiences, are recorded and played back for us to interact with and tap into. I do think, as I say, if it's on your own mindset, can attract that. So it's all to do with yourself, really. So I always go in high spirits, high tempo, and then be aware of that. If you can sense it's getting dark and dangerous, if you want to call it that, and then revoke, pull away from that. And that's done me well over the years. If you can, you guys know, you walk in something oppressive, you don't want to interact with something like that, do you? Unless you really want to. But it's not safe, particularly on a public event. You don't want your liabilities insurance being tested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do a lot of events, and we don't engage anything that comes through. Exactly. Occasionally, even when everything's going well, you get something coming through that says something like, "Oh, let them all suffocate," or something. Is what I had for one of my investigations the past couple weeks, and we just don't give it any energy. We're just no.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Nicole. Why do that? You want to talk to. I know it's hard in a museum like for the macabre, but you do want to talk to the ones that the joyful ones, the love and light ones, the pure of heart ones. I mean, these special haunted events ones, are the darker ones. It's you try and steer clear as much as possible if it gets a bit too much. It's like the one time I don't know if you're aware, I don't know if you use boards. I don't particularly use boards myself, but I found an interesting fact while I was on a board, watching the board at the museum. So when the planchette's moving around and it's not performing to any orders, give me your name, first letter of your name, blah blah blah, and sometimes it starts going out of control, the planchette. So I heard an interesting theory about that. Was that what he's trying to do? The darker energy, negative energy, is trying to create a sigil, if you're aware of them, for a portal to be opened. So ever since I heard that and learned that from a demonologist, a friend of mine, the creation of a sigil, the creation of an open portal, that's when close the board down. So anybody's doing that out there, when the planchette's out of control, goodbye, close it down, because it's creating a sigil for a portal. So that's just word of advice that I've been really keen when that happens to close boards down.
Good to know.
So have you ever had anything bad happen when using a board?
I don't personally use them, but obviously I supervise when board sessions are going. But you get I'm horrible to say this, but sometimes when you get the we call them the Karens. Have you heard the expression of Karen? Don't upset anybody out there. But sometimes you can always tell on a board who's going to get possessed or going to be affected, and all emotional, or whites of their eyes appear and then they start going out of control. So, but what? But I don't know if they just have. We call it a ghostgasm. But one time when I had that happen, and I wrongly thought this woman, she's going to push this planchette to the hilt, and she's going to go into trance, and her eyes are going to go white, and she's going to have a ghostgasm. But she actually physically vomited.
Oh my God!
So I thought, right, okay, I better take this one a bit more seriously and shut the board down. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so yeah, nothing in relation to boards. Again, I think it's a lot more psychological. People will probably disagree with, but I think it's psychological again. I mean, I've never seen a planchette move on its own, so I don't know if you guys have. I've never seen one of
No.
you. No, no.
No.
So I
So, what is
can't.
your opinion on dowsing rods? Do you use those?
I don't personally, but some of the teams swear by them. So obviously, point to where you point to the left if yes, or what. Show me your yes, show me your no, etc. And that they
Yeah.
swear by them, but I probably couldn't even find my big toe with one, so I'm probably useless at them. But there's something
We
in,
use them.
yeah, something in it because
Have that same thing where they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go spinning like crazy. Yeah.
conductive energy, isn't it? So your energy is mixing with the copper or the
Mhm.
material, and that obviously the ancients used them for dowsing for water, didn't they? So and water
Well, they
itself
use it for everything. They use
Yeah.
it for mining, for gold,
Yeah.
minerals, all sorts.
Yeah. So my teammates swear by them, but I've never actually. I'm probably useless at it, to be honest. But yeah,
So I've used them a couple of times. I've got a pen, and they're good because the ones that sit in the sleeve, so
Yeah,
you can
okay.
do that,
Yeah.
and they'll only move a little bit.
Yeah.
So it just spins round. So you don't really have any control over it, and
Yeah,
it just
okay.
folds up and looks like a pen.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I've
I've
seen the
used them. And
glow in
the
the dark.
I've used like with the yes and no and all that.
Yeah.
I've done that where they cross over and then they open, but I've had them where they've started to spin.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm
okay.
not. If they're going to start spinning, I'm stopping.
Reverse polarity. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
I've
there's some
just stopped it straight away.
But they're trying to advance that technology, aren't they? So obviously, being old divination technique, I've seen that there's glow in the dark ones now. But
Oh.
I've actually seen some ones where they're housed in a housing, so you don't have to touch them. So I'm just in some
Oh.
kind of brass conductive housing, and sometimes they'll spin on their own depending on the energy field that's passing by.
Ah.
Interesting.
It's good to keep thinking outside the box and improving on methods. I think that's really a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because almost everything we used wasn't designed for ghost hunting or paranormal
No,
investigation.
correct.
It's been adapted from something else.
Yeah. It's like on my vigils. I get a lot more success when I actually state I do an incantation or an old pagan mantra or something. So I've just basically language that they may understand more. So a welcome, an official welcome. So I will say various mantras or incantations, nice ones, not summoning dark, but just a respectful hello, welcome, a gratitude, an offering, and that seems to work as well. And it seems to as well as open up the guests, because if you calm the guests down, you open the crown chakras and the auroric field, third eye. They're in a meditative state before you begin your vigil, and that seems to work as well. So definitely something in it, especially the group vigils where you've got the 360-degree holding hands, the circle of energy. It kicks off a lot when you're all focused into the same thing. It's strange.
So do you believe that by doing that you're manifesting whatever it is you're trying to not conjure, but like the sort of energy you're looking for?
Okay, so again, have you heard of the Phillips experiment? The Philip experiment. Have you heard of that? I've
heard of it, but I couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head.
Okay, so basically, you can create this group of scientists or investigators back in, I think it was 70s or 80s. They went into a place and thought, okay, let's try a new method of communication. Let's create and manifest our own spirit. So they actually got on a piece of paper and wrote down a name, Philip, drew his picture. He was a soldier and he died. And what they did, they kept going and calling for Philip week after week after week. And then eventually they started getting a communication. Could have possibly not Philip, but they started getting activity. So he would rap, he'd knock tables, he'd interact with the instruments. And that was just from calling from Philip. So, as you say, Andy, there's a lot of that come from them putting a belief system, a manifestation of their energy into this character. And so there's a lot to behold, isn't there, really, in relation to a group consciousness generating and manifesting their own. Is it from the self? Is it from the ether? We don't know, do we?
This is the thing. I was talking about this the other week, that you've got all this energy and it's got to go somewhere. So I believe it's like a big mass of this energy, and it just random, whether it's random or selective, it sends out the different energy spikes, and that creates a spirit of somebody, a UFO, an alien, a big, not Bigfoot, because I don't believe that they're thingy anymore, but that's something else. Dogman, Joe, all these different things, and it's just sending them out as that. So if there's enough people that are using the collective consciousness to create something, if there's any energy that's still in there that's not got a particular being to be, could it use that to create, what is it called, a tupler? Is it a tupler?
Tesla.
Yeah, that's it. Could it create that and manifest whatever you want it to be?
Yeah, could do. You know, energy can change. Energy can be created. You know, when we Einstein said, didn't it? When you die, your energy just passes on, moves on to some other kind of material thing. You know, that's why he believed in the afterlife. Einstein did. Same with Tesla. You know, with the universal energy theory that he had, and we're all receiving antennas. So yeah, why not? Why can't our excess energy manifest for our thoughts, our visualizations? You know, perhaps spirit can't. We can mold that energy into what we want, can't we?
Because if you think about it, quite literally, if you think of something, you picture it in your mind's eye of what it is you're looking at, whether it exists or not. So if you can create that in your mind, why should it not be possible then to create it in a three-dimensional
Totally agree.
Yeah, thought farm, that's it.
Yeah. So spiritualists often tell you to have this this board, don't they? You know, this visualization board for you to concentrate on. So you're putting that wish perhaps into the universe for it to come back and materialize. So why can't we do that on vigil, or, you know, for spirit? We wish to talk to this the spirit that resides and visualize.
If there's enough energy that can create that, and the intent is there, then surely that's possible.
Totally. I totally agree with you, because that's what my fundamental belief is, that I don't even like to use the word spirit. You know, this energy is intelligent. This energy that's around us can enter our consciousness, pick up on our thoughts. It's as I said, when we die, that energy, that all that trauma, perhaps all those memories, are still around us in this field that we can. Broadband, we're like a Wi-Fi signal. We interact with it.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. It's like our energy must mix in and weave and get tangled in with all the other different energy. So we're all part, whether we're still alive or we've moved on, we're still part of that ball of energy. So we should be able to pull out as much as what we put in.
Totally
it's just it's knowing how to do it.
I really, that is my core belief. And the more years that I do it, the more I believe that is key. Tesla was right. Tesla was correct with his universal energy theory. Mother Earth creates the energy field around us. Universe is beaming energy at us. So, you know, we can only see a small spectrum of light. We can only hear a small percentage of sound form. I mean, what's around us that we don't know? And this is this energy field, and we're tapping into it. So I don't know, being crude here, VHS tape, DVD, we're fast forwarding, finding parts, bits of information. So I'm going to confuse you even more now. So my research is making me think and believe, with all this energy and interdimensional energy, perhaps string theory, quantum mechanics coming into play, but I really believe that we are a simulation based
Mm.
on all the coding and all this energy that's going on. I really believe that we're some kind of system.
So
I've
who
been
do you
trying to get
think
my
made the
head
simulation?
around that.
It blow your mind, but I'm just looking at radio waves, frequencies,
Yeah.
energies
But
all
everything's
around us.
got a pattern.
Yeah,
Well,
Even
energy
DNA,
patterns.
even DNA
Yeah.
strand is made up of loads like infinity symbols,
Like-
figure eights, whatever you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to call them, and it's
Why couldn't that be
it's a
computer
constant
generated?
pattern.
Advanced
it can't-
technology.
And they say with the DNA strand, you can't. The way it is, it can't be a natural. It can't have happened naturally. There must have
No.
been some
Interference,
interjection
yeah.
to make it the way that it is.
Definitely. So if you go back to if you watch your ancient aliens, etc.
Yeah.
So they came down, they manipulated our DNA so we could become slaves from ape to slaves, and that was the missing link theory, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking that our coding, our makeup, our genetic makeup, our biological computer, our biological bodies, our LCDs, our RAM, our memory, etc. Why can't that be manipulated remotely? Nanochip technology,
Well,
etc. We could
that's
be.
the thing, because it all works on electrodes, electrical waves.
Mhm.
Without it, your brain wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm opening
that's
Pandora's.
another rabbit hole.
I'm opening Pandora's box. I know, but
Yeah.
I do think it's all linked. I mean, I don't know if you know the work of Stephen Greer. You follow
Yes.
Stephen Greer. So again, go back to the amalgamated subconscious, the consciousness together. He goes to is it Nevada desert? Is it where he performs the meditation circles, and the ETs, the extraterrestrials, come down based on this collective thought process, and he's got footage after footage of these. I forgot the new word, but the old days it was UFOs, but they're coming down based on this mass consciousness collective. I mean, there's so much to it and that we don't know. And I mean, I love going investigating. I love tapping into this energy, but is it what it is? Is it what? And they all think it's spirits, blah blah blah. Fair enough. The mediums can tap into that, and I love it when they do and give messages. Something in that big time. I know there is. I work with one of the UK's top mediums, and he's brilliant at what he does. But me being the Tesla fan, science, physics, etc., and being an absolute weirdo, I like to think we can link the two, religion and science, and I think we can. We can.
Yeah. Do you? I asked. This is a question that I pretty much ask everyone, and it just fascinates me with everyone's answer. Do you like the not knowing? The trying to find out what it's all about, and it's like just before you go on holiday, or just before, like when you get up in the morning Christmas Day when you're a kid, that just before opening your presents. Do you know what I mean? It's that the just before moment,
Anticipation.
just before finding out.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I think that's going to be more exciting than actually finding out.
Yeah, you're probably right. I understand. So you're there on vigil. You're asking, okay, can you kindly give me your name? And suddenly a name appears on a word bank, and it's Stephen. He's recorded. He's in the archives. Yes, Stephen died here in 1824. That type of thing. You get that buzz. Is that what you're talking about? Rather than okay, here we go. It is on the plate. This is what happens when we pass. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
You're living for
because
the adrenaline kick.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a massive letdown when we find out exactly what it is. That's just my opinion. I've thought this for quite a while now, but I just think it's the interacting, because when we do make these connections and we're communicating with whether it is a deceased person or it's another entity from a different realm or whatever, it's, do you really, really want to know what it actually is.
I
Yes.
think I definitely do. Yeah, I agree with Nicole. I think I definitely do.
No,
Otherwise, I had 30
used
years
to,
wasted.
Now I like the not knowing.
Yeah, I do want to know. I do want to know. Basically, just the fact that you can educate, pass that on, prepare people for the passing. There's lots.
I get all that.
Yeah, lots of different theories, and I just think it's a taboo. They don't want you to know whatever it is. That's the eternal energy, or the clockmaker, the universal clockmaker. That you're not allowed to know. That's why there's so many peripheral vision sightings. So they like to them
Show
to be
ya,
seen.
but,
They like to show you a little bit. Hello, and then did I really see that?
Yeah.
But that's the only thing you're ever going to get, really.
Because this is for both of you now, because I've never done this. So, have you ever, when you're doing a communication, whether it's EVP, seance, board, whatever it is, have you ever asked, not so much this directly, but in whatever way you want to ask it, what the meaning of life is? What is there after here? Have you ever asked that on an EVP?
I've never asked that particular question, because normally when it comes through, it's like it's sort of very quick, isn't it? With EVPs. But I normally ask, is the life after death? Obviously, but I've never asked that. Yeah, so I've never asked it. What's the meaning of it? So I don't know.
Not in them exact words, but however you would. So your way of saying it.
But 90% of hauntings or activities, residual energy. So you're communicating with residual energy. It's not, you're just picking up on what's happened in the past. It's not intelligent. So it's very seldom you get that intelligent communication going. And when you do, it's like it seems to be that they're lost, and they're not going to answer philosophical questions. It's like normally help, or things of that nature, rather than philosophical.
Yeah.
But I'd love to be able to have that chat with somebody. Obviously, describe what's going on. What can you see? I often ask that question: do you see us as light, or do you see us in physical? I ask that.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah,
I've heard people have gotten responses that say they see us as light.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, wouldn't it? It's like me more sense, because we see them as light, don't we? Really, more than anything.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, if we're on a crossover, then it's gonna be like a reflection of what they're looking at and what we're looking at.
Yeah, and it depends, as well. Going back to frequency, if they're on a different frequency to us, that's just slightly off tilt, or speed, a quicker or a slower frequency. So perhaps they're that quick, you're only getting glances. It's like they're on fast forward, we're on rewind. So you say just that crossover, that brief second, milliseconds even.
Right, got a couple of questions for you. So the first one is from Jo, the moderator. She wants to know, what place that Russ has been to would he say is the most active? Out of everywhere you've ever been, whether it's you've been doing an investigation or you've just gone somewhere and it's all just kicked off.
Yeah, okay. So there's a few, to be honest. I've obviously done that many that it's hard to remember them. But my most Woodchester Mansion in the Cotswolds. I had my most how can I put it, most tangible experience. Probably about 6-7 years ago, Woodchester Mansion. I don't know if you know where that. It's not far from the ancient Ramming.
Right.
It's an old mansion, Gothic mansion. That the rumor was when they built it, they got the builders got that scared that they actually run off and it never got finished. But the truth was, I think the estate run out of money. But anyway, it is something that happened. You remember the Hammer horror films? Like Dracula's castle. I mean,
like that.
Amazing. So basically, I was in the I forgot the old word, the kitchen area, but there was an old word, vestry or something. And I was doing an EVP session, and there's 3 of us. So I forgot what I used. It was an old Philips one. It weren't a DR60. It was another Philips voice recorder. I put the voice recorder on. My friend was with a security Bobolov camera, was filming it, the vigil. And I was just asking questions, who's here? You want to make yourself known? Got a message for any of your relatives or for the staff? And I was trying to invoke the replay, time slip the energy in there by playing various sound bites, kitchen sound bites, rattling cutlery, etc. Just try and charge the energy. But anyway, so cut a long story short, spiritually, visually, I spotted somebody down the corridor of the kitchen. And it looked like an old servant or some kind, because the servants' quarters at the back.
Yeah.
And I remember just calling on my EVP. Okay, who's there? It was a dark precipice. It was all the way down. I couldn't see nothing, just visually. I said, who's there? Just let me know. And I played the EVP back, nothing there. But it weren't until we reviewed the Bobolov footage when I asked that question, clear and as loud as day. When I asked, who's there? Anybody there? Like that, it came through on the Bobolov. Follow me. A really direct order in a really angry voice. Follow me. Really crystal clear. And I mean, I've been to that day. I've never caught anything. I've caught a few Class A's, but that was beyond. That was at Class A plus.
Yeah.
So but Woodchester itself's got so much history. I mean, they used to in World War II. They had American soldiers had an accident there. They seconded it for military practice. There was an accident on the lake, and American soldiers were brought back. Their bodies were left in the mortuary area there. And that's all documented. They roam. So some of your friends there, Nicole, if you're ever over there, go and say hello. There's so much. There's an elemental in the cellar. I mean, he's quite nasty, but in the cellar as well, you've got some protected bats. There's bats hanging from the cellar, so it is like Dracula's castle. But there's so much going on there. Obviously, I love the ancient realm, and I love Woodchester. Cotswolds to me is great. But my most number one haunted place, there's two actually. Smethwick Baths always hold dear to my heart. Now, I don't know if you've heard of that, Andy. It was in Birmingham. So it was an old Art Deco swimming pool from the 50s. Okay. But underneath the swimming pool were the bunkers, shelters for World War II. So you could walk around all these tunnels, and there's graffiti on the walls of World War II bombers, Nazi signs, and there was interrogations down there. So any fallen pilots were taken down there and interrogated. The Krays were down there as well. They used to do illegal bare-knuckle fights down there. I mean, this place was a plethora of... Smethwick Baths will always be dear in my heart. I was lucky enough to have a good few of these years there as a resident investigator. And my good friend Andy Moore, who's the psychic medium I work with at Haunted Exchange, he was the site manager there for 30 plus years. So he's seen it all there. But that was my number one place ever, just because it's family type of thing. But if you want to walk in somewhere and get hit straight away, then Haunted Museum in Stoke for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I'll definitely have to go there.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm going to go to Stoke. Now I've got a reason. Yeah. If you can go see the family, I'll go and get spooked.
There you go. Pick you up later.
Stoke's got quite a lot, hasn't it? I've done Apedale Mines, I've done Hanley Town Hall, I've done Hack Green Nuclear Bunker, all that way, Nantwich. Yeah, that's a good night. Nantwich, Hack Green, that is a decent night. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll have to look into all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really
have to get to you. You guys have so many cool places.
I know, you need to come over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we'll send you in first, and then we'll go in after.
If you come over, Nicole, you and Andy, come on one of our nights, VIP. You can come and have the night with us.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Excellent. There you go.
We're doing a lot at the moment with the Haunted Exchange and Wednesbury Paranormal. A brother and sister company. Now, Haunted Exchange was set up purely to do more spiritual research evenings than my Wednesbury Paranormal Techie night. So Andy with Haunted Exchange and myself, Andy will do a lot more spiritual things, so shamanic meditations and drumming, as I said, to open you up spiritually to do these investigations. But we also get a lot of prestige houses, private houses.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you watch that program, Help My House is Haunted, that's on the Reading
Yeah.
channel. So a lot of them houses are subbing to us to do evenings there. So
I didn't know that.
Couple already, yeah. So we did. It's nice to be able to be trusted to go in people's houses and do events, especially with all the history there. So yeah, that's the reason why we got Wednesbury and Haunted Exchange. So.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Excellent. Do you want to do the next question? I'll pop it on.
Yeah, sure. This is from Elaine. Russ, have you ever had a spirit appear in front of you?
Not physically. I've had one visually. So obviously, a spirit enters my train of thought, whatever you want to call it, your third eye. That's happened a few times, but me not being a gifted medium, I'm still on my early my early journey with spiritualism. I've always been a techie, but physically, I've never seen anything. Closest I've had is a visual orb. So everybody captures the photographs with the orbs, dust and bugs and everything, moisture on lens. So when I see them with my own eyes, then I think that's something different, especially in the dark. So I've seen a spiritual energy in an orb shape, and it's been changing color. Is it spiritual? Is it something else? Could even be alien, I'm not sure. But that's probably the closest I've seen. And it was only for a few seconds, but it was definitely making zigzags in movement. It wasn't still. I don't know. Do you remember that child program? There was a kid called Chucky.
Oh yeah.
It was like that. It was like a flashing orb that was moving around this room. I was on my own, and that was at Smethwick Baths, and I could see it moving around, but it was about 5 seconds. Oh, and the other time as well, it was at what's the name of the place now? Itchingbrook, I think it was called. Itchingbrook.
Oh,
yeah.
I delivered to that hospital.
Yeah, the hospital now. Itchingbrook.
Yeah, it's not so where the hospital is.
Yeah.
If you go onto that road, you've got the police headquarters. It's just opposite the police headquarters on that junction.
Massive building.
You've got the private school next to it, haven't you?
That's it. It's a private school. Yeah. So they've got the nun and monk skeletal remains buried in one of the rooms, and they was having an affair or something, and they buried them together, a nun and a monk or something, and they've got a glass sheet over the top of these skeletal remains. You can see them actually in this room. Wow. But I thought I saw a pair of legs just above the ankle. And it was just a split second going up this stairwell. But I've never seen a full one. Never.
No.
We would all love to see it
today as well.
Was it Itchingbrook?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's like because I go delivered to the hospital quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I pass that, and it's like, just let me deliver there instead of having me reach about. But it ain't gonna happen.
I don't think anybody, unless you're that lucky, really, you're gonna see a full apparition, like the ghosts in Ghostbusters. I mean, people will probably shoot me down, but if I haven't seen anything in 30 years, then I'm not either doing something wrong or I'm not. That's why I'm doing the spiritual path as well now. To research that, to see if it is to do with me. Have I got blocks? If I've got blocks and I'm saying no in subconsciously, then they're probably not going to appear. So I'm not saying there's nothing in it, but I've not seen anything to date. So
see, but I've had
you've seen a full-bodied apparition, because that's what happened to me. I thought that my team member was standing right next to me. And I could see her out, on the side of my vision, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
So you probably have seen something, you just don't realize that.
You think it's a real person.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah, perhaps, for that solid, you're not going to question it, are you? So
there's one of the guys in the chat, Simon. I know he won't mind me talking about this. He actually, when he was living think it was when he was living in Leeds. If he's watching, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure it was near Ellen Road. And he helped an old woman cross the road with her shopping.
Wow.
But he was saying she didn't look, she looked dead. But yeah, I said, did you look in the bag to see if it was groceries and that, the food, was it all gone off or whatever? And I don't think he did. But he said he crossed her over the road, like stopped the traffic and that, got her over, and it's like he's shown me a picture on Google Maps, and it's kind of like, so it's like a dogleg type junction, quite a wide one, and he crossed diagonally. But where he stopped and left her to where she would have been when he turned around, there's nobody there.
Oh, wow.
So he actually carried this bag.
Oh, wow. There's no way she'd have suddenly sprinted away.
No. He said she weren't going to run anywhere.
See, these stories are everywhere, aren't they? Skeptics have these stories. I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah. And this is the frustrating part of me, because I want one to happen to me. And is it because I'm trying too hard in 30 years?
That's what I used to think.
Yeah.
Because I've had stuff at times, and it was like every single day for years. And then I'll have nothing for like 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
It might be the odd thing, but I don't really put it down as paranormal or anything. It's it's just one of them things. So I don't really take note of it.
Yeah, in the early days, I'd go on site and every knock, bang, every tummy shame, be paranormal, wouldn't it? And and then the older and wiser I get, all the, I know what that is, but you never, you let the guests or whoever's with you, let them debunk it themselves. Yeah. But then once you've debunked it all, it doesn't leave much left, you see.
No.
So when I'm going on events now and I'm there going, oh, got to help something happens, just to satisfy my own first. That's why I'm going to the spiritual route as well, to see if I can enhance my perception.
Yeah. Sorry, Simon's just put she was blue and purple with a bloody nose. Oh, but I said to him, kind of like tongue in cheek, maybe he was helping her cross to the other side. Like literally, physically and literally.
That's a brilliant anagram.
If something had happened to her on that junction, maybe she'd been run over, and that's why she was there. And she was her thing left to do was to get to the other path, to actually cross the road and get there. And she was, like you were saying, with the Stone Saint theory, and they just keep replaying and replaying until they've done what they need to do.
That is a brilliant summary, really. That's a visualization. So he's crossed her over to the light.
He's literally crossed her over.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's great. That's probably right. Yeah.
Why did the spirit cross the road? To get to the other side.
But it makes sense. And I said it jokingly. And then after I'd said it, it's like,
sinks in.
What if it was actually that?
I'll tell you, you go with your gut, and I think you're right there, Andy. Definitely, yeah.
It just make. I know it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, but it makes so much sense.
Okay, so part of the spiritual group I'm in, closing and opening your chakras, it's all about visualization. So closing your crown chakra, I envision a windmill spinning out of control, but then slowly it slows down, and when it's stopped, your crown's under control. And it's calm. Same with your throat, third eye, your heart chakra. Imagine a wheel spinning round and it shuts. And you can do the reverse as well, so you can open it up. So when you're on investigation, if you want to be open, more receptive, open your chakras up, and in these focuses. And it's all about visualization, spiritual visualization.
Yeah. So would you say that's similar then to the way people kind of like meditate to go on the astral plane?
Yeah, definitely. It's all connected for sure.
Yeah.
It's like past life regressions. It's all tapping into your psyche and your consciousness. And it's really clever. I mean, I used to think it was hocus pocus. I really did. But having working with these people on team and going to spiritual circles, there's definitely something in it. I mean, it's like crystals as well. I used to think it's just a brick. Why is people using these bricks? But after using them for protective purposes, obsidian, tourmaline, after using them for pure of heart with rose quartz, there's something in that as well. I mean, you think about it, it's minerals, it's created by earth. Some of them can be used in line with what I've been discussing for frequencies and lots of ITC work. So it's all connecting. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I've had
interacts. You know, you can mix the technology with the spiritual side.
Yep, definitely.
And one doesn't negate the other. It actually can explain the other.
Yeah. So there was always in the past this argument between religion and science, and they always used to repel each other with everything. And I think luckily we've crossed that divide now, that boundary, and they are working together. And I'm going to push. I'm going to keep pushing for it. And obviously, Nicole, you know now that you know that they can work together. And for sure, it's one of the same thing. It's just worded differently. Worded differently.
Well, that's essentially like, think about the ancient times when they thought, rain was from the gods, and now we know different. It's still rain. It's just the explanation is different. It's just the way of looking at it.
It's like I forgot what it was I watched before. It was an interesting documentary, and how the way they worshipped back then. The sun, Jesus. So all these prophets, the sun of God. So all these prophets were coming from the sun. There's all worshipping the sun. So everybody had that aspect of paganism and Wiccan in them from the start. They was worshipping the elements. So. And I think we should be going back to that way now, to be honest, worshipping Mother Earth, worshipping the elements, and perhaps we won't be in these dire straits we're in now.
Wow.
It's right, isn't it? If we was that basic worshipping the sun, the moon, the soil we walk on, if we was doing all these fire, all the other elements, then perhaps, we'd be a bit more respectful of our habitat.
Yeah. So, do you take a lot of equipment when you go? You personally?
I've got so much.
Take everything.
I take
and then just choose what you're going to use when you get there.
So on a public night, then not public. That's not a word. I mean a community team night, whatever.
Yeah.
I will take so anybody can use. I've got robots and sensualized robots. Sensors kick off, it'll do a turn and. I mean, when I go out on my own, I'll take about 4 or 5 voice recorders, perhaps the trifeld meter, if there's any stray wanton energies. And, I can't even trust REM pods these days personally, but it's all about ITC work, so instrumental transcommunication. So I don't mind taking the odd spirit box with me. And so I don't know are you aware of the work of Rodeve? Have you heard of Rodeve? Jorgensen?
No.
Okay, so they're designed, the spirit box technology back then. So I'm messing around with frequencies, energy waves, radio waves, and Rodeve actually found, allegedly, I've not seen the tapes yet. I've not found it, but a channel that was allegedly to heaven on a radio station. You could hear the harps and the angel choruses. But that's how he got into it, and then they developed. And Jorgensen, he took it a stage further. But there's something in frequencies for sure, and I like to do that when I go on site on my own or with a team for research. So I'm purely EVPs and radio manipulation.
Well, thank you. Right, we've only got a few minutes left. Okay. Sorry, but we have got a few questions. So I'll do this one first from Ross. It's quite relevant. Does the charged particles that create the Aura B, i.e. Northern Lights, have an impact on the spirit or paranormal activity?
Yeah, Ross. I can't. I'm not really into that, but I can. Ross, I'm probably good saying yes. Why not? Why can't it do that? Because I suppose the sun particulate, the sun charging the Earth's auroric field. Why can't it do that? I was actually at St John's, Warwick. It's an old house.
All right.
On was it Friday night when it
first
Friday
hit? Night. Yeah.
So it kind of knackered up our evening because people were too busy taking pictures of the aurora and doing
Yeah.
ghost hunting. But as he's just said there, we had a right active night from it. So perhaps it did coincide. Perhaps that extra energy created around us, perhaps that did manifest something more. So yeah, I'll probably say yes to that.
Could have done.
Yeah,
It's a different
definitely.
type of energy, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And it's all part of this stew,
Yeah.
this soup of energies that create these things.
Yeah. Do you want to do the next question, Nicole?
Yeah.
You go.
This is another one from Elaine. Russ, have you ever had a spirit? Wait, that's the same one. We
Had
already did
that
that
one.
one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we did that one.
I cleared that. Try that one.
Okay. This one's
From
from
Paul.
Paul. Russ, has Sally come through again lately at the Ancient Ram Inn?
Ah, okay. Paul, I remember you. I remember, no, Paul, yeah. So Paul was, I don't know if he still is, a guide at the Ancient Ram. And
Right.
he didn't tell me about a dark energy there that him and the other tour guides are afraid of at the Ram. So Paul was on my team the night he went there, and we was in the attic area of the Ram, and we was just doing some energy work around the table. And I think Paul was blindfolded, so I used Paul as a conduit, as a vessel in this circle. Say, can you, any spirit around, can you go through the guy Paul, who's got no vision, so he's opened his senses with the blindfold. And at that, a word appeared on a word bank, not a phone app. We don't use phone apps, but a bank, 10,000 words. And it came up the name Sally. So I was, who's there, Sally? And then the tour guides basically crap themselves. Sorry to say the word crap, but they said Sally, because I didn't know who Sally was. And then Paul explained Sally's the name of, they say the word demon there that resides. So I think if I remember right, we had to quit the vigil because I was a bit spooked. So that come through, yeah.
Oh, excellent! Wow, that's. See, I'm not. I don't know. With it, then you're saying about the apps and
I don't use apps. Phone
boxes. It's just. Is it just sending them out randomly? I can't get behind them.
Okay, so I've got three. I've got more than that, but
so
three
what's the difference between the boxes you use and the apps?
Okay, so Ovulus, alleged. I don't know if you heard of Ovulus. Okay, so Ovulus is based on temperature and all the different monitors to create the word allegedly, and then I've got a standard word bank that I've had modified that responds every 20 seconds. So it gives me time to ask a question and then it'll create a word.
Right, okay.
And then I've got another box that's audio. So it'll say the words. They're all independent word banks. They're not linked by apps at all.
Right.
So the Ovulus crap don't work at all. I mean, it's just, you'll say, okay, who's around us? And it'll come up basketball. And I mean, so I never switched that on. I've got the audio one as well, but that's similar, and that's crap. But the 20-second one, I seem to get a lot of. I don't know if it's my own energy going into the box.
Yeah,
I don't know what the science is, but I have to be fair. Again, I'm like you, Spirit Talker and Paratech and all these other phone apps they use. I'm just going, oh my god! I just think, what are you doing? But an independent box with 10,000 words in. And I'm standing by a tombstone, and I'm asking, okay, so who's here? And then the name of this lady on the tombstone appears in a 1 in 10,000 chance of her name appearing. I don't, you know what I mean? And that's
it's a bit
happened
too
to me more than once.
coincidental.
Yeah, it's happened to me more than once. So I mean, I've had intelligent response, but I'm not saying it's tangible at all. No, but it seems a bit of a good circumstance. It's something that you can work with, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But Spirit Talker and some of these apps, you can put the words in. You can actually put into the dictionary words before you even get to sight.
Right, okay.
And I mean,
I want to do that.
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point in that? I was at an invest on the other week, and this couple have got 2 or 3 phones each with Spirit Talker on. I just sat there and watched them all night. You know, they weren't taking in the surroundings.
You're just lying to yourself, aren't you? That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Just trying to convince yourself there's something going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like some of these really good. These YouTube channels are some of the places they go to, and what they do is amazing. But the first thing they want to do, they turn it from an urbex or whatever to a paranormal show, and they're walking around with Spirit Talker and a K2 meter that's been made in America and in Japan rather than from America, or the original K2 meters. And I'm there going, "Oh, don't ruin yourself. You're doing such a brilliant job," and then you start waiting for K2 lights to flash.
Yeah, and
it's disappointing.
So that's when I go out investigating. I'll do whether it's live or not. I'll do a couple of minutes, and if nothing lights up, then I move on. There's no point hanging about for 10-15 minutes just because it might like the second green light or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's that current trend now. Some of the channels on YouTube and some of the better than the TV programs, but then everything has to become paranormal now. Why can't they just concentrate on the surroundings and that they're in a beautiful place? And I like looking at these time capsules, these urbex, these brilliant urbex people do. I mean, looking at these artifacts and being respectful, because urbexes have such a bad name. But these ones who film are so polite and respectful and brilliant. But then I've started ruining it now with doing the paranormal aspect of it. And I think
it's popular.
Yeah.
I know I go out investigating, but then when I go to Rendlesham, as long as I've got a good signal, I'll just film as I'm walking about, and just not in particular like doing is anybody there the same old. I'll just walk around chatting, and if it picks them up. If I don't, it's a nice day out.
That to me seems to be so that when you're on downtime, when you're having that social, that's when they seem to be more interested. They want to participate. That's when when you're looking about, that's when they'll come and they're interested. Where you're sitting there going, "Oh, here's another one of them idiots again asking blah blah blah."
There we go.
Yeah, but when you sit back and okay, bugger off now, I'm going to have me a JD and Coke. That's when they seem to kick off more.
Yeah.
That's when you hear the screamings, people, the guests on the break, wandering to the toilet, having a laugh. That's when they see something.
Well, because when would you want to hang out with somebody? When they're like sitting here asking you a million questions, or when they're just having a drink, hanging out, like laughing?
Yeah. I'm an 80-year-old Dickensian, and you're asking me to touch this teddy bear with a cat ball in his belly. I don't think they're gonna be too happy with that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Right, I've got one last question before we go because we to start a few minutes late.
Yeah.
So this is from Blue Shift. For us, have you experimented with semantics at any active location? If so, what were the results?
Okay, so Blue, you've got me there. What's semantics? Can somebody Google it, please? Well, obviously, Blue's a bloody superior scientist to me. What's a semantics? I've heard of the word.
The study of wave phenomena, especially sound and their visual representations.
Okay. I know. Yeah, okay. So I think it's Apidroid. Creating Apidroid in the UK, creating a box that is just mentioned. So they're using sound waves to create a visualization. So it's going to be like an old school telly, so a TV with static white noise, and these sound waves will manipulate the band to create visualizations. Like the old Poltergeist TV.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, you're right there. I have heard about that. So sound waves to be something materialistic or visual can be done for sure. And there's something I experimented with as well in relation to that. There's a sensor you can buy to put on a plants, so you can put it on your plant, and your plant will create a sound wave, and that sound wave will convert into an audio tune. So it's like your plants are singing to you. So
Yeah,
it's
I've heard of
reverse of
that.
what he said. Yeah. So I did that last one. Cymantic. Is that what he said? She said, or
Cymatic. Yeah.
cymatic? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, there's definitely something in that for sure. So you can manipulate. It's like the old sound frequencies that allegedly built the pyramids, didn't they? You know, have you heard about that resonated frequency could move matter, move
Levitate.
blocks, move these huge blocks. You know, the alien tech created this sound that can move the blocks and that can control them. So no, there's definitely the world's a weird place, and
tell me about it.
I believe in it. I believe in that for sure. I mean, that's where all the energy comes. The energy is manipulated, whatever form, to do what we want with it, really.
Yeah. Right. We are going to have to finish now because we're just over the 1 hour 30 mark. So thank you so much, Russ, for coming on.
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
And
hopefully we'll meet up soon and go out and find some ghosts.
Yeah, no. And anytime you guys, you know, obviously Nicole, a bit harder for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You'll get there. You're welcome. Just hook me up and you can call one of our evenings for sure. And
excellent. Thank you.
Hang out with us, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever in New York.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'll put that on for you tonight, Nicole.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Yeah. So thank you, everyone in the chat, all the new subs and members, all the new names that have popped up. Hope you keep coming in. Please do jump over to the other YouTube channel I'm going to be doing. It is non-paranormal, but we are going to be discussing pretty much anything and everything. So that's that. Right. On Friday, we've got Chris Collins coming on from, I can never remember the name of the group that he's in, but he does a paranormal group up near Chester or around that way. So he's on Friday. And that is pretty much it. So we'll see you then, 8:30 UK time, 3:30 EST. Anyone want to add before we go?
No. I just want to say thank you for listening to my ramblings as well. I know I come across like a madman at times.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's been great, honestly. It really has.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you, everyone. Hope you'll sub to the other channel, and we'll see you on Friday at 8:30. Take care and goodbye.